The Dispute Den. Curious name for a bar. Smells like stale beer and poor life choices. Why are we here? I was in the middle of an experiment. Time sensitive. This better be worth it. Who called this meeting anyway?
Got a message. Said to come here. Discuss paradoxes. Seemed important. Or trap. Could be trap. Doesn't matter. Came anyway. This place is filthy. Floor hasn't been cleaned in weeks. Bartender is watering down the whiskey. Typical.
I called it. Well, I suggested it. Figured we could use a drink and a chat. 4 detectives walk into a bar. Sounds like a joke. Probably ends like 1, 2. I'll have a bourbon. Double, maybe triple. We're talking paradoxes, yeah. Gonna need it.
Established 2025. Owner has 3 unpaid parking tickets. Health inspection rating is C-. But the locks are good. Soundproof walls. Private booth in the back. Good place for a conversation. Away from surveillance. Away from interruptions. I'm buying the first round. We're discussing the biggest paradox ever. I have thoughts.
Of course you have thoughts. Everyone does. Fine. Biggest paradox. This statement is false. If it's true, then it must be false. If it's false, then it must be true. Simple sentence, but impossible to solve. Pure logic breaking itself without any complexity required.
That's just words on paper. Real paradox is what happens in the streets. Society claims it wants justice, then turns around and protects the criminals who destroy lives. They put murderers in prison, give them gyms and libraries, then release them knowing they'll kill again. Everyone sees this cycle, understands how it works, but nothing ever changes.
Sherlock's got his word puzzles and Rorschach's got his angry politics. I'll go a different route. Can anyone actually see the future? Because I've met demons and fortune tellers who swear they can. They tell me exactly what's going to happen, then I go and change it. Except maybe I was always supposed to change it. Maybe everything's already written and I'm just reading the script. That question makes my brain hurt worse than the hangovers.
Future sight is just advanced pattern recognition, not actual prophecy. The real paradox is consciousness itself. How do you create awareness from unconscious matter? The brain is just cells firing, chemicals moving, electricity sparking. Somehow that becomes the feeling of being you, of having thoughts and emotions and experiences. Science can't explain how that transition happens, and philosophy can't prove it exists outside our own perception.
Consciousness isn't a paradox, it's just an unsolved problem. We don't understand the mechanism yet, but that doesn't make it logically impossible. My paradox is actually provably impossible by mathematical proof. The self-referential statement breaks logic in a way that can never be repaired. One is a mystery waiting for data, the other is a genuine impossibility.
Mysteries sitting in textbooks don't hurt anyone. Society releasing known murderers back onto the streets hurts real people and destroys real families. Judges know the statistics. Understand that violent offenders have massive recidivism rates and still hand out lenient sentences in the name of mercy.
Your paradoxes assume reality follows consistent rules. I've been to hell multiple times and seen things that shouldn't exist according to any logic. Demons that exist and don't exist simultaneously. People who are clinically dead but still walking around conscious. Time flowing backwards or sideways or not at all. The universe is stuffed full of contradictions that just sit there being impossible, and that's considered normal in certain dimensions.
Hell operating under different physical laws doesn't invalidate logic itself. Quantum mechanics produces weird results like particles existing in multiple places, but that's still following rules we're learning to understand. Consciousness is fundamentally different because we can't even begin to theorize how unconscious matter produces subjective experience. There's no starting point, no framework, no direction for investigation.
You're conflating mysterious with paradoxical again. A paradox requires actual logical contradiction, not just phenomena we haven't explained yet. My example creates a genuine logical impossibility that Gödel proved mathematically. Any logical system complex enough to be useful will either contain contradictions or contain true statements it cannot prove. Logic itself is fundamentally broken, and everything we build uses logic as its foundation.
Logic being broken in mathematics textbooks doesn't kill anyone. Batman catching the Joker over and over while knowing he'll escape and murder more people is a lived contradiction. Batman knows with absolute certainty that Arkham can't hold the Joker, knows that more innocents will die, but refuses to kill him and refuses to let anyone else do it either. He's living two contradictory principles simultaneously, and calling it heroism.
Superman does exactly the same dance with Lex Luthor. Luthor tries to kill him about once a month. Superman stops him and puts him in prison. Luthor escapes or buys his way out, and they repeat the whole performance. Both of them know exactly how this plays out, but they keep doing it anyway. Maybe that's just human nature though, wanting things that directly contradict each other. We want safety but also excitement, freedom but also security, solitude but also companionship all at the same bloody time.
Wanting contradictory things isn't paradoxical, it's just having complex and competing needs. Being aware when you're constructed entirely from matter that has no awareness is genuinely paradoxical. Matter by itself isn't conscious under any circumstances we can measure. Consciousness by definition requires a material substrate to exist in. Both of those statements appear to be true, but they directly contradict each other. Yet here we sit, aware and made of matter.
That will be explained eventually through better neuroscience and physics. My paradox has been proven impossible to explain through Gödel's incompleteness theorems. Any system of logic either contains contradictions or contains true statements it cannot prove within its own framework. We have to choose between consistency and completeness. We can't have both. That's foundational to everything we think and reason about.
Foundation doesn't matter if the building is killing people. Society understands that releasing violent criminals leads to more violence, has decades of data proving it, and continues the practice anyway while calling it civilization. That's not an abstract problem in a philosophy journal. It's a measured and preventable cause of death that happens in every major city every single day. The paradox that causes the most actual harm is obviously the biggest one.
I've directly caused deaths while genuinely trying to save people. The more effort I put into helping, the more catastrophic the results become. The more I care about protecting someone, the more certain their death seems to be. Logic says I should stop trying and walk away from everyone. But I can't make myself do that, so I keep trying and keep failing and keep watching people die, because they had the misfortune of knowing me.
That's guilt and the trolley problem combined, not a true paradox. You're facing a moral dilemma where every choice produces harm. Sherlock identified a logical paradox, Rorschach identified a societal paradox, you identified a moral paradox, and I identified a metaphysical paradox. These are fundamentally different categories of problem that can't really be compared directly to determine which is biggest.
Well, we've thoroughly discussed this without reaching any conclusion. Rather fitting for a debate about paradoxes. I'm leaving. My experiment has likely exploded by now and Mrs. Hudson will be furious.
Nothing resolved, nothing solved, typical, going back to the streets. Real work to do, real criminals to stop. Good talk though, better than most.
Right then, I'm getting another drink before heading out, maybe 5 more. Got a demon to trick tomorrow and I do my best scheming while hungover. Cheers, gents.
Same time next month. Different topic. I'll pick the bar. Somewhere with better health ratings and actual answers, though that might be its own paradox.